This is episode 1.
I can't believe we're actually like genuinely starting it now as well.
It is mad. This. Well,
I'm trying to not laugh loud into that as well.
Let's start with who. I reckon we start with who.
Who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, I can ramble on ages. It's so weird because we're literally going to have conversations we've already had with each other. So to try and keep that as natural as possible.
We've covered this at least 50 times, and that's just this morning.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, so I'm obviously Oliver.
Yeah.
Oliver Ross.
I'm Matt West, or Matthew West, my birth name.
Everyone calls me Ollie. Some people call me Rossi. Whatever really comes off the tongue best. I'm 23.
I'm 24.
Yep.
Just turned.
And how long have we known each other?
I want to say a good year and a half now.
Yeah, properly known each other a year and a half.
Yeah.
Knew of Matt since coming to the local church we go to.
Yeah.
Today's community church.
Yeah.
But we've been like good mates for a good year and a half.
A solid
now.
year and a half, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm 23. I went to primary school in Atherton, high school in Atherton, born and bred in Bolton.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a Bolton fan.
And he served in the Royal Navy.
Sure. And yeah, I moved to Wigan most recently because I work in Wigan. I go to church in Wigan, and me and my wife now live in Wigan together. Like I don't know, more about me growing up. Been quite close with my family. Love football. Love loads of different sports. But mainly football's the biggest passion. I'm not very good at it, but I've got a lot to say about football because I love watching it and stuff like that. So yeah. There's more to go on about me, but what about you?
We'll get on to me. I'm Matt. As I just said, I'm 24. I've lived in Wigan all my life. I met Ollie. Me and some friends used to go around to someone's house to have a play a FIFA, do whatever, chat, and then we went there a few times, and there was this guy sat on the couch who we didn't know, and I was like, oh, like, who's that sat on the couch?
Who was it?
And he was like, oh, it's just a friend of mine from college or something.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, he's quite quiet, isn't he? He's like, yeah, he's pretty quiet. So a year and a half later, I'm doing a podcast with him.
I know, it's mad.
So that guy on the couch was Ollie.
It was me, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we started, I'd say it was mainly through Father Side, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So like you're referring to like a good close friend of ours, Emmanuel. I went to college with him, and then he introduced me to another group of friends that he had, and that's where I obviously came to know you. And then through coming to church, we knew of each other, but we never grew a friendship.
Yeah.
And then it was probably through five-a-side, through working together a bit at church.
Yeah.
We just started to chat to each other, and it was like we actually have loads in common.
Yeah. I remember. So yeah, we both work at the same church. I remember one shift we did about 15 months ago now.
Yeah.
And it was that shift where we were serving tea and coffee, and we were both stood at the same table.
Yeah.
And I'd say that shift that day was the first time we actually spoke to each other.
Yeah, it definitely
that wasn't just like oh, you're right, mate.
Yeah.
It was actually like, so what's your name?
Yeah, it was a bit more, wasn't it? Because it was like, it was weird. Because I knew of you, but I said to you that day, like, swallowed my pride a little that day, and I was like, listen, Matt, I've been wrong and got a completely wrong representation of you, which was right. Like, I had to say it because like I knew of him, and I was like, when I finally spoke to you and was intentional about it, that I was like, you're such a great guy who we'll have such a good laugh. We can do a podcast together one day.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea came about that.
Yeah,
early
no,
on.
it didn't. But yeah, genuinely in that moment, it was like mad. Like, why have we not spoken to each other before?
Literally.
Because we have such a laugh. We
Yeah.
love so many similar things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was such a natural conversation, and then the friendship blossomed from there.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I first started seeing Ollie get like used to church, and I saw him a bit more, I knew we were going to become mates.
No, yeah.
I
didn't know he was going with that then. When I seen him, I was like,
yeah. As soon as someone said he's from Atherton, I was like, oh, probably not. I had to wash my hands every time I shook his hand. No.
Obviously.
No, as soon as I saw Ollie, this sounded that was a mad beginning to a sentence.
No, it's good.
No, I knew we were going to become mates. I mean, we're the same age.
Yeah.
We're into the same stuff.
Yeah.
And we go to the same church and we're around the same people.
Yeah. We've got similar humour.
Yeah.
Similar interests.
Yeah.
I'm slightly better at football than you, ever so slightly. I would say.
We'll leave
Up
that
for
for another
debate.
episode.
Yeah, we'll leave that for
episode
comments to decide, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely from that, just through conversation, and then we hung out a lot more. And then five-a-side is something we got into, which we could talk about more.
We'll
Talk about more.
We'll expand on that later.
Yeah, that's fair.
Expand on that. But one question. So we've done who we are, why. So the podcast.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah. So I'd say around December.
Yeah.
Around December. I don't know where the idea came from to do a podcast. I just think. So a few years ago, I invested some money into a studio because one of my passions is music, and I was thinking, I've always been interested in media, and I was just thinking I already run a few different pages.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's best to go from there because it's probably derived from that, from your other creative stuff you've done. So you've got lads vlogs. If you explain that.
Yeah. So I run a page. So basically, to make it simple, you've got the Sidemen. Yeah. So we're basically the Sidemen of Wigan.
That's a good. Yeah, I like it.
We're a few subscribers less.
Only a few.
About 14,900,098,000.
But after this.
Yeah. Hey, but after this episode comes out, it'll be 10 million.
Yeah.
No, so I run a page with a few friends of ours. So there's about 4 or 5 of us, and we're called Lads Vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
Click the link on the screen. Thanks. Yeah, so with Lads Vlogs, we're basically the Sidemen of Wigan, and I'm running that. We've been doing that since 2020 for years. So we just film videos, we just have banter, and we film random videos. Anything from a cook-off, so a cooking competition, from vlogging, going to trips, so London, Newcastle, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. So that's the context.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that a few years, and I thought, I like media. I like doing videos. I like making content. So me and Ollie were hanging out around.
It was again through five-a-side.
Yeah.
You started to film a bit of those for lads vlogs.
Yeah.
And then the ideas kept expanding on what else could
you
do, what could we do.
Yeah, how else can we expand? So I just said to him one day, I think I just said, let's do a podcast while we were having a game of FIFA or something.
Yeah.
Literally. And this was before, this was back when you were living at your mum's.
Yeah.
Back in Atherton. And obviously it's a house full of people. You can't just set up a full studio.
Yeah.
Because things are going on throughout the day. But that was the original plan, and then we both agreed on it.
Yeah.
But we didn't have we didn't have a date.
Yeah, we was just waiting for the right time really. It took us a while to decide on the name. Which to be fair, let's quickly go into that.
Should I go into that?
So the name Can You Hear Me Now? Because I'm from Bolton, Matt, well, you're not from Bolton, but northern humour.
Yeah.
We love Phoenix Nights, Max and Paddy, Peter Kay, Paddy McGuinness, those comedians, and just
all
naturally northern humorous people. So we love Phoenix Nights, and one of like the greatest and well known sketches from Phoenix Nights is this sketch where there's a bit with "Can you hear me now?" I don't want to expand it. You could expand on the scene if you want to, but I don't think it's relevant.
I'll do it quickly. Okay. So in one of the episodes, Max and Paddy, played by Peter Kay and Paddy McGuinness, they are two bouncers at a working man's club in Bolton.
Yeah.
And the scene is Paddy's stayed behind at the club, and Max has gone because he's hungry. He's gone to get some food from the chippy.
Seen it before?
Yeah, I've heard. That's what everyone's saying.
He did his research.
Yeah. No, he's gone to get some food from the chippy, but it's quite far away, and they've just bought these brand new radios, haven't they?
Yeah. Sorry, it just sounds like you're trying to explain a joke you've said,
I know.
and it's just not going to be as funny. But the context is necessary.
No, the
and
context
needed.
is necessary. So they just bought these brand new radios because doormen wear radios, and they want to test the distance, because they're like, oh, I got these brand new radios. Hey, the distance on these, like, you could be stood miles away. So Max goes off, and Paddy's like, where's he been? Like, it's been like an hour.
Yeah.
And through his radio, Paddy's stood there, and all he hears through the radio is, hello, can you hear me now? And he's like, Max? And Paddy turns around, and Max is on the top deck of a double-decker bus, driving past the working man's club, Phoenix Club, driving past, and he's like, I'm on the bus.
He's like, can you hear me now? I'm here.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
So please go and watch that for yourself.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the description.
Yeah.
If it helps. So that's the context of why we're called Can You Hear Me Now?
And it's a nice catchy thing, innit? It relates to something we just find hilarious, and also podcast here makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, but we did take a while thinking of names, and it was good we got to that.
Yeah. Because we did have an original name, didn't we?
We did. We don't need to mention it in case you think that's better.
That's true.
So let's leave it.
No,
but I was going to say, because you said kind of where your passion lay to do a podcast. So I did media at college as well. I'm 23 now, so that was a good 4 or 5 years ago. I studied media at college, did it BTEC. And I always enjoyed media. I've never pursued it as a career or as a job or anything. I've done a few bits there. So I've done a few bits at church, media-wise. And obviously in college, I edited a few things, recorded a few things, but I never really went down a route for it as a career. But it's still been a hobby and an interest and a passion of mine. So I think through kind of getting involved in lads vlogs, what you guys built, and then to do this podcast together. When that idea came up, I was like, let's do it. It'll be fun, and just having just natural with it, we were doing it because we enjoy being creative, seeing what goes with it, and hopefully it'll be all right, I guess.
Well, we'll see. Well, I've posted enough teasers, which people haven't mentioned much.
Hello.
Not a few hundred times. So we've done a few bits, but it's just good to get the first episode done. Yeah. And we'll see where it takes us. We're looking big things. Big things are on the way.
Yeah.
Big things.
This was naturally just going to be an introductory episode. There'll be loads of things we can speak of, and I guess we could go into a few more other subjects. Whether you want to talk about this ring that's on my finger, maybe that's something we could speak about today.
Johnny,
kind of you want to go for it, yeah.
So as you might have noticed, if you zoomed in a bit.
That's why I've been sat like this.
The
whole however long this has been, I've been sat like that.
That's why the intro's just gonna be like John Cena. Right?
That's something to speak about, not yet. Sorry.
That's another episode. So as you may have noticed, Ollie does have a ring on his finger.
I do.
Which implies that he's married.
It does. So I got married. How long? What date are we on now? So it's the 20.
It's the 22nd of the 6th.
Yeah. So it's the 22nd of June today. No, sorry, it's 22nd of July today. We got married on the 11th of June. So it's been just over a month. Mad. What a day. To be fair, you can't, when you speak about like the wedding, you can't just speak about the day itself, because there was so much that went into it. Like me and my beautiful wife Talia have known each other for a few years now. We was friends for ages, and then obviously it just grew into from friendship to relationship to getting engaged and then getting married. Like there was so much stress going into the wedding, it was ridiculous. Just like things changing last minute, organising stuff. Talia will tell you that I took ages to order my suits as well. I literally did that in like the last month, which was bad for me really, considering Talia was picking up pretty much everything. But the wedding day itself was just amazing. We got married at our local church, today's community church, which was such a blessing to have it there. A place we called home. So to celebrate there with, you know, the team that really care about us, our family and friends in the community there was amazing. Yeah, it was just such a special day. And to be fair, Matt, you had some involvement in it, didn't you, as well?
So, I explained a few minutes ago, you know, I vlog a lot, I make videos.
He's very creative.
So any opportunity I can get to make a video out of an experience, I will do. So I was like, can I vlog? Not vlog, can I document your wedding day? And he said yes. It was a lot of fun.
He did a fantastic job.
I made an hour and a half video of the day. I literally caught everything at the wedding. The only thing I didn't catch was some of the live music.
And it's quite funny though, because like we had professional photographers there as well, and they've got pictures of Matt. But because Matt took the effort to record everything of the day, even the photographers had pictures of Matt just with his phone up.
Yeah,
because that's just what he was doing all day. It was amazing.
Just there in 8K.
The Samsung's really good to film on.
It is. Fantastic. That's another topic we're going to get into in a few episodes time.
Oh, mad, yeah, phones.
Start talking about phones. Yeah. But anyway, no. Yeah, so I filmed the wedding day. And I could just say, I'm a one-man band here. I got that. So I had about 2.5 hours of footage. If you guys know anything about media and video editing or anything techie, you'll know it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, it does.
And it takes a lot of hours of literally, you just sat there with whatever device you're on, editing away. And you have to be so, not strict, but like fine detail.
I used to always say like, so when I used to edit the videos for church on the social media, I'd just do this like minute long recap. People think it takes a minute to edit it. Do you know what I mean? Like when it's literally not the case at all.
It's it can take a lot of man hours. But yeah, no, I had about 2.5 hours of footage. I managed to condense it all to about an hour and a half, which was condensed. Like I condensed it a lot. I turned that video over. I got it complete in a week. While, you know, throughout my week, while being at work, while being at church, while doing different things. Yeah. And
it was great. Like the way it turned out was amazing. Like me and Talia watched it together when Matt finished it, and it's really good. It's on YouTube as well. It's on Lads Vlogs for people to watch because
I'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, because this description's going to be massive.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Ollie's wedding.
Yeah.
Is Samsung better than iPhone?
But yeah, it was really good to watch, and just the wedding day in general was a great day.
Yeah.
And we went on the honeymoon as well. We went to Edinburgh. Because I'm half Scottish. Which can expand again.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like there's so many tangents we can go on, which we'll just kind of save.
We'll get through.
But we went to Edinburgh for the honeymoon. Mixed reasons, like Talia's always wanted to visit Edinburgh. I'm half Scottish, so it's got a soft space in my heart going there. So we went there for a week. It was lovely weather. We were just proper tourists while we was there. Just did as much as we could. And it was great as well. We also had some time in London as well, the week later, which was really good. Again, just we're big tourists whenever we go away and do something, so that was loads of fun. Yeah,
and now, well, after the wedding, you moved in.
Oh yeah.
You moved into your new apartment, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, this is where we are. This is where the studio for this is. Like to be fair, when I was saying before, Talia planned a lot of the wedding. She did so much with it, like the organisation to it. I was there to help, but just naturally she kind of enjoys that aspect of stuff. But the big thing for me was trying to sort a place where we'd live together. And we looked at a few places. We looked at a few, like we was going to rent because that's the situation we was in. And it was stressful. Like, firstly, I had to overcome this, like, I just had this anxiety of applying for places because I'd never done it before.
Yeah, it can be scary.
Because it was so, like, unknown to me. Like, I didn't know what to ask. Like, I didn't know what I was looking for. So I had to firstly overcome that, and I did. And then when we started viewing places, we didn't actually view that many places either.
Yeah.
Like, I think we viewed a couple of terraced houses, and then we found this apartment where we are now. And it's really convenient for us because it's close to where we work, close to our friends, and everything that we do. So it's amazing. And again, we've been in here for a month. Obviously, since we got married, it's really starting to come together.
It is.
You know, making it look like our home. You know, like. Felt like a proper man of the house when I was like painting the balcony and stuff like that. But the only advice I would have to people is when you get married, do not build furniture together.
Yeah.
Because there was a few little bickering and not arguments we had, but I was trying to make this bed frame together. But we got over that. Like, we see the funny side of it now. But it's such a blessing to be in this apartment. I love it. Like, just to be able to have friends over and just be in a place you call home. It's so weird, but it's amazing.
When I can come over, it's good.
Yeah, because you don't come over enough.
No, I don't come over. Yeah, I need to be more intentional.
Yeah, you do, mate. Yeah, exactly. We've definitely not like completely reorganised this living space to make this podcast.
No, not at all. Because it makes sense that the TV's behind the sofa.
Because that's where you'd usually.
Because you do naturally watch TV like that. Do you know what I mean? So this is natural.
And people need to know we've got a great camera stand that this is on as well.
So that's what I was saying. When I said Ollie's moved into his new apartment, I was going to pan around, but I can't do that, unfortunately, because the bin might fall over. So you never heard that on a podcast before.
See, it's so natural.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
Wow.
But yeah, no.
We need to do so. Marriage and wedding was a lot about me.
Yeah.
We need to say more, obviously, about you.
Oh, about me.
So, like, other interests of yours. Can we talk about music?
We'll talk about anything.
Can we talk about that maybe a bit more?
Music, yeah.
So so obviously you're very creative, which you spoke about. That's evident in like lads vlogs, all the other creative stuff you do. But a big thing is music that you're passionate about. Where did that come from? How young? Stuff like that is what I want to know. Oh,
fair enough.
And they do as well.
Okay, I'll start off. So a long time ago,
in the galaxy far away. We don't hang out enough.
So we don't hang out enough. Big prompter behind the screen, like Star Wars reference. No. So why am I into music? I come from a music family, a huge music. Actually, no, that's a lie. Not a huge music family. It only goes as far as my dad, to be fair. So, I come from a music family. My dad has done music all his life. My dad's a drummer and a singer as well. Well, he's a drummer. He sings a little bit. So my dad's been in bands all his life. From when he was like 17, he's been in bands. I'd say mainly rock.
Yeah.
And like old, if you know what punk is, it's like quite 70s.
Yeah.
Rebellious kind of music. So my dad's been in bands all his life. He's been signed to a few record labels when he was in his 20s and 30s. He's been in Kerrang magazine.
Oh, right, yeah.
He was the front page of that back in the 70s and 80s.
Oh.
He's been on Top of the Pops. Do you know what that is?
I do, yeah. Got culture, not Top of the Pops.
So there's a few videos on YouTube of my dad.
Oh, mad.
On Top of the Pops, yeah.
Wow, never knew.
So
depends how like young people are that listen to this, because I don't even know if Top of the Pops is still running.
No, it's not.
But it's like an elite.
The last episode was I think it was 2012 maybe. Wow. So it went on for a lot. It went on for a good 30 odd years.
It was massive, wasn't it? Top of the Pops.
Yeah, huge. Because before the internet age, Top of the Pops was how you found out about who was new in the music industry.
That's right. Yeah.
The top 10. So who was top of the charts? Because there was no like Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah.
Because hey, I don't remember back then. None of this Spotify.
Yeah.
None of this blue Shazam. They would have thought you was a witch if you said Shazam back
Recording
then.
it on your phone.
Yeah. So my dad was in all the bands, so I come from a music family. My dad's a drummer, I said that. And then he had my older brother, Tom, in like early 90s. Tom also is a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Tom's been in a few bands. He's in a band now. I won't shout them out because he's not paid me. So I'm not giving him free advertising.
It's like who?
Yeah. So yeah, my brother does music. My brother's a drummer. And then when I was growing up, I wanted to do music, but I didn't want to be a drummer. I could play the drums from young just because I've been around music all my life. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a producer. So like in the studio and make music. So when I got to my late teens, I started making music.
That's good.
So I started doing that. I invested quite a lot of money into a studio, the very studio we're using right now to record this podcast. That was about 2.5 years ago. And I've been making music ever since.
And it's not like a certain I guess genre of music you like. You've got a passion for so much different.
Yeah. So for me, it's exhausting, to be honest with you. When people ask me, what genre do you make? I say I don't know. I just make music, and what it sounds like is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there aren't influences of genres in there, but I never open a session of music. I never open a session and think, today I'm going to do this. I just look through all the different instruments and sounds and everything, and I just pick what I want. You've got to let your creativity speak for itself.
That's good, man.
Do you know what I mean? I could talk about that for hours, but that's what my music sounds like. I've just started releasing music in the last month,
which is exciting.
Yeah, and people ask me like, wait, so you've had your studio 3 years?
Yeah.
Why is it taking you 3 years? Because you're not. You need to be ready.
Yeah.
You need to learn the craft.
Yeah.
I could have released stuff a few years ago, but it would have sounded dreadful.
Yeah, you put a lot of effort into it. You wanted to produce what you've been working at, innit?
And I put a lot of hours in behind the scenes. Because if you know anything about media and music, you know it's all the behind the scenes work. You can spend 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours on one song. Yeah. The song's only 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This is the easiest bit. Like, even if you was referring to this podcast now,
this
talking bit of it now is the easiest part.
Oh, yeah.
Like the actual planning of what are we gonna say, the setup of this, the editing after this. Yeah. Like this bit, actual doing it is the easiest bit.
Yeah.
But like with your music, it must be the same. Like the effort you've put into to making it, to thinking of the ideas, to listening to what you listen to, like all that takes so much effort.
To give you a bit of context. Let's just say I've just made a song. If I just released it then, it sounded dreadful. So mixing is essentially I've got to listen to each instrument. So in a drum kit, you got your kick, your tom tom, your snare, your cymbal, your ride cymbal, your cowbell, all that. And then in a band, you've got your bass guitar. A mixing engineer, sound engineer, goes through each instrument, and you have to listen to. Sound travels, doesn't it? Yeah. You've got to listen to the frequencies and learn which ones are too harsh. So the higher frequencies, so like that's like a high frequency.
Yeah.
And you've got your lows, like your bass. So you've got to learn all that, and then you've got to adjust the levels. So that's all mixing is. If you've ever been to a concert or anywhere with a studio, you'll notice that big sound desk at the back with all the different knobs on. So that's what I do, is I adjust all the levels. That's just for one instrument.
Yeah, wow.
So imagine a full song has how many different aspects in it?
Yeah, it can be a lot, yeah.
Guitar, bass, or a band, or keyboard, or anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then mixing it, I'll have one more thing on. Well, I don't think a lot of people know about mixing.
No, that's good.
You mix a song for every output you can think of. So everywhere you hear music, that's been mixed. So you hear a song on the radio, that's been mixed for a car stereo. It's been mixed for a Bluetooth speaker. It's been mixed for you go to a festival. It's been mixed for a stage that big. It's been mixed for that.
Wow.
It's been mixed for your earphones. It's been mixed for headphones, like big headphones. That's 5 different outputs. Any more you can think
Yeah.
of? Like, it's been mixed in 6, 7 different ways.
Wow.
It's also been mixed for your phone speaker.
That's mad.
That's how much time. So imagine it can take 7, 8 hours to mix it just for one of those things.
Wow. Yeah.
All for a 3-minute song.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, that's why when I hear it, so there's even bits that I've never heard from, like when you spoke to me about your music, but when I hear it, I just admire it. Like, just admire like the creativity even more so than like I already do. Like, just the effort you put into it, because it's such a passion for you. And to be fair, don't mind me asking, like, how does that like passion stay there for all the effort you actually have to put in? Is it as simple as because I just love it? Like, because you love it so much, you're willing to put in all that effort, even though it sometimes takes such a long time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, to keep it simple, like most things in life, if you enjoy something, it takes away the strain of like, if you love your job,
Yeah, that's true.
if you love your craft, you don't see it as a job, or you don't
facts.
see it as effort. So when I'm sat there at my studio at 2 a.m. while everyone's asleep, and I'm just mixing levels, to Ollie, that is just like, well, no. I'm like, well, do you know what I mean? Like, if I presented him that and was like, can you do that for another few hours?
Yeah.
You'd just be like, well, I want to go to bed, I'm tired.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not just going to sit there and start. It's just boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
But because I love it, to me, I know like you're working towards the final project.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Sense.
There's been times where you just think like, this is knackering, this is tired, but it's that passion that drives you.
Yeah, that's good, mate.
I think, and for me, that's what makes me like sit there for 7 hours, sometimes 6, 7 hours at a time.
Yeah.
To just get it done.
Yeah, and that's why it's exciting that you're starting to release some stuff, like, and people are able to hear it, and it's just exciting to actually get it out there, to be honest.
I'll put another link in the bio.
just take your time going through all these links. Just make some time, put it to one side, so you can listen to all this stuff that we've said.
Yeah.
But I'd say like we've got only a few more minutes left of this. Don't want it to be too long, this first episode, and we want to save some stuff for another day. What do you think we could maybe finish on? I could maybe just quickly talk about kind of what I do as a job, because that's quite a passion of mine. You've spoke about a passion of yours with music. I could just quickly say about where I work and
let's do it.
The passion that lies in that.
Do you want me to ask you first?
Yeah, go on.
Alright. Get me a drink. There's nothing in it. It's just. Right.
Brilliant.
So Ollie.
Yeah.
Tell us about where you work.
Right. So where I work, it's gonna sound like, because whenever I speak about my work, it sounds like it's some like scripted piece that I'm going off, but it's just the way I've got to describe it.
It is. Wow.
So, where I work is a partnership between today's community church and a charity called the Message Trust, which is a Christian charity. And I didn't think you caught that. Sorry. And the Message Trust has done like so much charity work over the years, and that can be in schools, can be in communities, it can be loads of different things. But the latest thing which they did was, I'm going over my interview notes now in my head. So I'm doing.
He's got them on the laptop.
Yeah, my interview notes. Is something called the community grocery, and the community grocery is we're trying to bridge the gap between a food bank and a supermarket. That's what the community grocery is there for. So it started in the first lockdown in 2020 as like food parcels, and then the first grocery opened, and then it's just expanded to a chain of groceries in the northwest. Some are down south now. They're all over the place. And I've got the privilege of being the assistant manager at the community grocery in Wigan. And yeah, as I say, a bridge between a food bank and a supermarket. So what does that look like? So a food bank, you'll naturally go to a food bank and receive a food parcel. Amazing in itself, that, let me just say. and then you've got a supermarket, and it's just quite, like I say, it's quite a big gap and gulf in between. There's kind of nowhere really in the middle, is my opinion anyway. So people still pay the way when they come to the grocery, but it's just cheaper than your average supermarket costs. And there's so much fresh produce. There's like so much like shelf items and stuff they can they can get. But yeah, why do I love it so much? Well, it came about when, you know, I attend today's community church. I found out about this latest you know, project that was coming around with the community grocery, and I was looking for work at the time, and I was like, I'd had retail experience before, so I thought maybe that could be right up my street. You know, I love sharing my faith, which we'll both go into on another day in a more detailed discussion, but love sharing my faith. So I'd have retail experience. I love engaging with community, and I love sharing my faith, and I had all that like in one with the grocery. So I applied for it a year ago, and then, you know, I was blessed and got the job. And I love it. Like I love it because I love the practical side of it. So like the running of the grocery, the organisational side of it, the practical side of it, with the food and everything. But again, I just love the community aspect of it, because you're just engaging with people. Like, you don't know people's stories, like you don't know how they're feeling when they come in, and you just have a great opportunity to just be a blessing to someone who's maybe who's struggling physically, who's just after a chat, you know, just whatever that may look like. And it's just such a privilege to be a part of it, and it's great to just see just it expanding. Like, you know, I don't need to state the obvious, but like living costs and everything, to be able to provide that service to people is such a blessing, and in that, being able to share your faith as well is amazing. So I just love that. It's just a big passion of mine to just share my faith with people, to be really community orientated. Like that's big passions of mine. So I love it. I love what I do. It doesn't feel like a job at the time. Like, you know, when I asked you about music, like when it gets quite maybe repetitive, it gets quite hard working, how do you stick at it? And the thing for me is like, some days may be the same, some days may be frustrating, like with deliveries and whatever, but the fact that you love what you're doing, you love speaking to people, you love like sharing your faith, you love like working in that sort of manual labour job. You just never, you don't get sick of it. It doesn't feel like a job, as I say. So yeah, I love it.
That's brilliant, man. That's fantastic.
We spoke about a lot, really, haven't we?
We've covered a bit, to be fair.
I feel like this started quite unnatural, and then it's gone quite natural as we've gone on, which is great.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. What should we finish on? Should we finish on that question?
Yeah, do you want to?
I think we should. So explain. So what we wanted to do is, after each podcast, eventually when we get guests on, which is what we obviously want to get it to, is we want to just have a last question which every single one finishes on, and it's nothing too complicated. It's just something quite funny, something quite interesting. And what we wanted to say was, I'll ask it you first.
Go on.
Is, if you had your last 3-course meal on Earth, so you've got a starter, a main, and a dessert, and a drink as well.
We'll chuck the drink in.
What would it be? Your last 3-course meal on Earth and a drink, what would it be? And to be fair, I'll give you some thinking time. I knew this question was coming up, and I've literally not even thought of my answer at all.
You came up with the question.
Yeah, and I've not even thought of my answer. I was like, let's ask this. And now it's come to it, and I'm like, oh, mad, I don't even know what my answer is. So you can answer it first.
Well, is my main...
This will take another like 20 minutes. This is an episode in itself.
My main, does it come with pigs and blankets?
Don't. Context, no. Right.
To be fair, I'm going to say a roast dinner.
But what's your starter?
Oh, my starter? Okay, my starter, and this will be, if you've ever been to, there's a lovely restaurant in Liverpool, and it's called Red Dog.
Oh, my dear.
When I went there, the main was okay, but the starter was loaded fries.
What?
So it was like minced beef, cheese, chips, seasoning, different vegetables.
Nice.
That was one of the best starters I've ever had in my life.
That's nice.
Phenomenal. So
Wow.
that'd be my starter. Loaded fries from Red Dog.
Hmm?
My main. I'll explain why we're laughing in another episode. That's one rule we have as well. We have to give context.
Yeah, we do.
If we start laughing for no reason,
Because we just have like just personal humour.
if people are watching the screen, like, what's so funny?
What are they laughing at?
Because this happens in person a lot. I mean, people
Just
like,
say it about
why
the
you laughing?
carvery.
Do you know what I mean? Do you want me to say it?
Right, we go for carveries quite a lot.
We go for carveries quite a lot. A few weeks ago, I'll get back onto the 3 course.
Yeah.
Just give me a sec. A few weeks ago, I had a record amount of carveries in 1 week. It was 4. I had 4 carveries in 7 days.
They're just so convenient.
They
like
are.
you just get everything on your plate.
I've heard.
Yeah, before.
Apparently.
So that's why it's funny. So when he went
Yeah.
to say his name was a carvery, I was like, obviously.
Yeah. We could go into a bit more context, but we won't,
Yeah.
just because we want to finish this question.
Yeah.
Right.
So starters, loaded fries.
From Red Dog. I'm going to say a roast dinner. Jokes
Yeah.
aside,
It's a great
it's
choice.
a fantastic meal.
Is it with pigs in blankets?
Yeah, it's with. Yeah, you got to. Do you know what I mean?
Would you get all 3 meats?
Yeah, you got to get all 3. I was at a carvery once, surprisingly, if you didn't know. And
Come on, we need to
I'm
finish.
not even joking, being serious.
I know.
And they had, I won't name and shame. It's Primrose Farm in Wigan. And they had turkey standard, beef another standard, gammon standard. They had flipping pulled pork as a 4th option.
Mad.
And don't get me wrong, within the right food, pulled pork's amazing.
Yeah.
On a carvery, obviously, I was like, I'm not trying that. So I got it. So I'm not stupid. I got it anyway.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah, and it's free. It was horrible. 'Cause
Really?
it was barbecue infused.
Oh man.
And have you ever put barbecue sauce in your carvery?
No.
Yeah, neither have I. Don't. It's dreadful. But anyway.
So carvery would be his main.
So my carvery, the full 9 yards, pigs and blankets, all the veg, all the cheese cauliflower.
Carry on, come on.
So my main's a carvery, if I've not said already.
Dessert.
Dessert. I'm a chocolate brownie kind of guy.
Nice.
Not too much.
Cream or ice cream?
Both. I'm not gonna lie
Yeah,
to
come
you.
on, let's
I'm
be
not
honest.
gonna-
Yeah.
Hey, if that's my last meal on earth, hey, like, better watch the calories. Like, what?
Good
Yeah.
3 course, that.
So I'm gonna go for a chocolate brownie.
So you had loaded fries for starter,
Yeah.
carvery as the main,
Yeah.
chocolate brownie as a dessert.
And ice cream and cream.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the drink, the beverage.
and a drink. Well, I think I just. For drinks, that's a difficult one. I'll probably just do. I'll probably just stick with something like a Coke.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
No ice though.
Yeah, no, you don't get ice. It dilutes it.
Yeah, of course.
That's a genuine thing. Like, have you ever? I don't get ice in my drinks because half an hour in, you go to drink it and it's just flavoured
Takes all
water.
the syrup out,
It's
doesn't it?
literally, it's disgusting. But yeah, that's mine.
No, it's good.
So, what's yours?
What's mine?
Starter, main, dessert, and drink.
My starter.
Haggis.
So yeah, funny. I'm Bruja. Would probably be. So I proper thought this question through, like I have. So you can get a cheese board either as a starter or a dessert. Like depends where you go. I'm right in saying that, aren't I?
I'm not middle class, so I don't know.
I think so. If you go to a restaurant, sometimes you can have cheese boards as starters, but also you can have it as an option as a dessert. I think I'm right in saying that. If I'm wrong, do tell me. But so for my starter, I would have a cheese board.
Right. Okay.
Right. I really like cheese.
They're like huge.
Like a starter cheese board.
Oh, like a few. Like,
Yeah, like not too filling. I don't want something like loaded fries to fill me up for my main. do
yeah,
I?
yeah. Nothing too starchy.
No. So I'd have a cheese board. Favorite cheese, by the way, blue cheese.
I hate raw cheese.
Elite. Smells bad, but tastes amazing. So that would be my starter. My main, it's kind of like another end of the spectrum would be spaghetti carbonara. really like
Oh.
spaghetti carbonara. And however, I have just found out recently there's an Italian way of doing it and like a British way of doing it. So I've been told.
So there's a right way of doing it.
Yeah, no,
and a
literally,
wrong way of
apparently there's
doing
a right way of doing it, a wrong way of doing it, and apparently, again, I hope I'm right in what I'm saying. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But some level of what I'm saying is right. I don't think you're meant to actually have spaghetti carbonara with all the cream in. It's meant to actually be more like natural with like
Yeah.
the bacon and ham in the spaghetti, so it's not as creamy. But the carbonara I do enjoy.
You've heard?
Yeah, I've heard. Is with like the cream and stuff. So spaghetti carbonara, really enjoy with loads of grated cheese on top. Sorry, parmesan.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, spaghetti carbonara. And dessert. I love a good cheesecake. Yeah, I love a good cheesecake. I know there's so many different variations
A lot
of
of
it.
cheese in this 3-course meal.
So I like cheese. As you can tell. So yeah, I'd probably have a cheesecake. I just don't know what
Cake of
like
cheese.
flavour. Probably like a Malteser cheesecake or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've got my starter as a cheese board, spaghetti carbonara with cheese
With
on top.
cheese on top.
And then a cheesecake for dessert.
And then something with cheese for
And
drink.
then a drink.
Melted cheese.
Not melted cheese. I would have either.
Iron brew.
I genuinely would have an iron brew. I love iron brew, and because I don't drink it enough, I would have it.
So Ollie's Scottish.
Yep.
Part.
Yeah, so I'd have an iron brew as my drink as well.
We are very different in our
I know.
taste of food here.
I know. I'm trying to just like act as if I'm not British with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
There we go.
I think we finally
Do
finished.
you want to wrap it up there?
That's mad. Do you want to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
So, stay tuned because there's going to be so many more
Yeah.
podcasts. This is just the beginning. We hope you've enjoyed this. I don't know how long this has been. Yeah, it has been a bit lengthy, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. Got
Yeah.
to know us a little bit more. It was so like, just to close, the beginning bit felt more unnatural because like we just already
We're brand
speak
new.
about ourselves because we are
Yeah.
new and it has been more natural going into it. We didn't want it sounded too scripted,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
we?
I found it funny the first 10 minutes how much context we had to give.
Yeah, so for context.
But we'll get there. The more episodes we get in,
Yeah.
the more you'll get to know us.
But we just really enjoy doing this, like embracing the creativity we feel we both
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Just enjoying it, you know. There's no like expectation on where this goes. Just want to enjoy it, have fun with it, really, don't we?
Yeah.
But in the description will be all the links we've said
Yeah, all
and
the,
mentioned during this.
all the socials, all
yeah.
the details you need.
All the socials for this, but also the other YouTubes that you have. So
Yeah,
Lads
yeah.
Vlogs.
It'll all be there.
Yeah, it'll all be there in the
Oh,
description.
good. Do you want to end it with a clap as well?
Yeah, stay tuned and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Let's go.